Today we're building the Mittleider grow boxes. We have 18-inch boxes here and 48-inch boxes here with a 48-inch 4-foot wide aisle here. So what I did is I know that I want to have this 4-foot aisle, and then this box comes out 18 inches. So I measured from the house out to here, and this right here is the edge of the line for my box going here. This here gives me the line for the other edge of my box. After I made the measurements, I put the stakes far enough out of the way so when I build the box, these are not going to be in the way. And so this stake here is past the end where I'm going to build this box. Jim Kennard has a really great knot here to make this easy to use. Let me show you how to do this. What I've done here is I've gone around this post here without having to tie a knot. I can keep this line tight. I made this tight. I brought this line underneath and like this, and then what I do is I grab this line here and I pull it over the top and kind of push this line underneath. And there you go. That line will hold nice and snug. Give me a nice straight line, and then when I want to take it off, all I have to do is pop that and it comes right off. Alright, now to get the wood and start putting some wood together. When I went to Home Depot and bought these 2x8s, the 2x8 treated lumber was less expensive than the 1x8 treated lumber. So you can actually get better boxes and save some money on your lumber. Interesting enough. Also, I thought it was quite interesting that the gentleman at the Home Depot who was helping me get the lumber asked me what I was using it for. I told him I was going to use it for raised garden beds. He says, "Oh, we don't recommend treated lumber for raised garden beds." And I smiled. I said, you know, it's been over a decade since they were using arsenic and other things in the treatment. So treated lumber is perfectly fine and recommended for raised garden bed boxes, or what we call here in the Mittleider system, grow boxes. Now, I am going to be drilling through the ends here, and I always have a problem when I'm using screws that the wood splits, so I am pre-drilling, and then I will drill my 3-inch galvanized screw into the end of the other piece of wood. So what I did do to minimize the costs on buying the lumber is I bought 8-foot lengths of lumber, so I could just cut them in half to have my 48-inch width for my boxes, and then I bought 10-foot pieces of lumber for the length of my boxes, and that should work really well. I am using screws on the ends because I want this to be really solid, don't want the ends to come apart, and I'm going to use nails on the sides. I'm going to use nails to help reduce the cost and speed up the project. Okay, I've got the first part of the first bed in. I started here with this corner, and I tried to lay the long 10-foot piece on there, but I was having a hard time getting the pegs, the stakes level, so I did screw this on here. That helped me level, keep the board from going like this or like this. It helped me level that board, and then it really helped me get the stakes in. Started over here, used the nail gun so I don't split the stakes, and then came down here, kept it on the wire, and when I came down here halfway through this bed, I took some stakes on the other side and just nailed them on the back side to complete that. I have one stake about a foot from the end on each end, and then one in the center. You can put as many as you like. I really feel that since these are 2x8s, not 1x8s, they're really going to be solid, and they don't need a lot of support, but I can always add more supports. I kept the level going across the top of the wood as I kept on coming, and then I got down to the end, and we seem to be pretty level here. So since I already have that end piece on, I'm going to go ahead and start from that end and work my way down here. I'm going to show you a device, very simple but very easy to use, and really speeds up the process of finishing off this bed without having to run some more straight lines or put in stakes at the end for line. What I have here is a piece of scrap wood. It's a 2x2, and I've got a couple other pieces of scrap wood on there. And what I've done is I just nailed it here and then measured from here to this end, and that is exactly 48 inches. And what that allows me to do is it allows me to make sure that when I'm setting this board in, that it's exactly 48 inches across. So that is really helpful. And by having this board here, it allows me to put my level on here and determine if I'm level. So it's very handy, very easy to use, and very quick to get the other side set up. So let's go ahead and get the other side set up. Okay, I got this first 10-foot board in on this side. I've joined it here just like I did on the other one with the stakes holding it together. But before I did that, I ran my spreader here and leveled this end of the wood. I was very glad that I did. That way I know that I'm the right distance and the right height to make this level all the way across. So now I'm going to go ahead and finish putting in my boards here. But before I put this joint together, I made sure that that end was level and it was at the right width across, and then nailed in this joint here, and then I'm adding these stakes here. Okay, there is the bed. As you can tell, the ground is not level, but the bed is. At my age, I don't want to be doing a lot of digging, but the good news is I know, because I'm bringing in the tree mulch like I have over here in the Back to Eden garden, that I will be able to fill all that area up. And of course I'll be putting down newspaper and cardboard before I put down the tree mulch. So I'll have this completely covered with newspaper, several layers, 4 or 5 layers of newspaper, then cardboard, then on the outside I'll have tree mulch. So this will be completely covered inside with cardboard and newspaper to kill the grass. I know it works because I've seen it work in the rest of my garden. So there's the first one. That's how I built the boxes. I'm going to leave another 4-foot area here for walking. Then my next box goes over here. I'll be going off that line there, and I'll be going off this right here, this box here, as my new line 4 feet away. So I'm ready to move this string so I can use it over here for my next box. I just want to show you how easy this works. Now, I haven't had to cut anything here. All I need to do is just pop the string, and it comes off, and I'm ready to move the whole length of string, move that stake over, and I haven't had to cut up some string. Pretty nifty. Okay, I did move the 4-foot line over to an 8-foot line. I want this to be the outside edge of this edge of the grow bed because this is the high end of the box. This will be lower here. I want to be able to lay the boards down on the ground here as much as possible, and then I'll lift them up on the here. If I started on the low side here and then get that all balanced and then came to the high side, I would have to dig a trench to put the wood in, which may be a better idea than having it suspended in the air. I don't want to dig a trench, so I'm going on the high side. Do whichever way works best for you. Okay, the second box is done here, and I'm ready to put up the next full-size box. As you can see, I just extended the line here on the edge of this box all the way to the fence line, which is where I'm putting in my box over there too. And I have another full-size box going in right in here. That's what I'm putting in right now. So it was very easy to get these other boxes lined up simply by running this string and making sure the string is parallel to the side of the box here. Okay, it's dinner time. I'm tired and I'm hungry. So I'm going to go ahead and get cleaned up and have some dinner. But I wanted to show you what we ended up with today. We've got 3 4-foot wide boxes. We have 2 20-foot boxes and 1 15-foot box. The reason why this box is 15 feet because I wanted to maintain the 4-foot distance from corner to corner, and since this was the closest corner to there, I had to push that one back. So we're able to walk through here just perfectly. It's wonderful, lots of room. I'm really happy with what we've done so far today. I've got another bed to put in here. This is going to be a 18-inch bed. Here's another 18-inch bed that goes along that fence. And then I have an 18-inch bed there and one over there also. So that'll be a project for the first of next week. Hope this has been helpful for you to understand how I put together these beds so that they're level all the way around. So when we fill them with dirt and we level it off and we water, the water will flow evenly throughout the beds. If you haven't looked into the Mittleider gardening method, please do. I'll have a link below this video to get you some more information. I really do feel it is a phenomenal, high output, high production, high nutrition way to garden. I love the off-grid self-watering container gardening system, but I couldn't feed my family from that. But it's a great way to get started with gardening. It's great if you only have a small area and you can't put up some boxes. You can also use the Mittleider system just right into the ground. We would remove the grass and then just plant right into the ground with the natural mineral fertilizer. But I like to have the raised beds. It keeps things neater and cleaner here. So the next project we're going to have is laying down the newspaper that we have and the cardboard all the way across on the lawn. Get that all inside the grow boxes so we can start getting that grass dying. And then we'll fill them up with growing medium, and we'll show you how we do that. This is LDS Prepper reminding you, if you are prepared, you shall not fear. And if you want a really high yield, high nutrition, successful garden, check out the Mittleider gardening method.